the gentlemen's. We got Flick and Scut here, guys. Congrats on the new movie, Christmas Story Christmas.
Yeah, fucking Scotty kills it. Oh, so by the way, your audience, are we cursing, not cursing?
Yeah, we're cursing.
Whatever.
We're always cursing. Well, I should say that this particular segment is actually a special Geekscape. It's a fundraiser for Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Northern and Coastal Jersey, and so everybody listening, thank you so much. If you feel inspired to donate, we really appreciate it. And and if there's cursing, heads up, because it's coming. It's coming. We don't.
Have you guys seen the movie yet?
Watched it last week with my whole family.
I just enjoyed it. Yes, liked it.
So immediately, I have to say that you guys are tremendous highlights in that movie. Scott, Zack's not blowing smoke up your butt. You crushed it in that film.
Crushes it.
Seriously, dude.
And as much as I crushed it, Zack crushed it.
Equally, Zack. Yeah, the same. I got excited
I got excited when Zack came on the screen. It was just great.
My son thought you were really cool, Zack. My 8-year-old son, he thought you were really cool.
Oh, well, he's got great taste in redhead.
He does. He does.
No, Scotty. I was telling Scotty that I think he just pulled a De Niro on that one. He put on the weight. He turned himself into the type of character that's like a Joe Pesci style character.
Yep.
He just, nobody else could have done what he did. Everybody else who, if they tried to do that, it would have been an affectation. It would have been, it would have been a caricature,
Yes.
It would not have been an honest persona. And he did it so beautifully. It was such a perfect follow-up from the original film, and I just love watching him in that. And every time the photo comes up of him with the Peter and the kid, and they're looking off, and he's just every picture is a story with him. It just is fantastic. Yeah, I'm so proud of him, man. I'm so freaking proud.
Cost me $500 a month for my PR guy, Zack Ward. It's okay.
Can I just ask, was it a real mustache?
Oh, that was all mine.
Yeah, all right.
They had said it's going to take place in 1973, and I had 3 weeks to go, and I'm like, okay, fine. And Peter said, don't shave. But the minute he said it was 1973, I went right to Elvis Aloha in Hawaii. I got to do the chops.
Yeah.
And I got to do, the mustache.
Yeah.
And
beautiful mustache. So that's 3 weeks. That's 3 weeks of growth for you.
3 weeks of growth. Yeah, I just let it grow in, didn't touch it, and got to Bulgaria, and the makeup people wanted to touch this and touch that. I'm like, no, just give me a little color so I get rid of the gray. Okay, fine, And Peter came in the trailer and he goes, "Oh my God, they did a great job." I said, "They did nothing.
They did nothing.
It's all mine." I'm like, "It's mine, dude."
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil anything for anybody, so I won't obviously give any details about the movie because it just came out. But what I will say is what they do with Zack, your character Scott, it feels like a natural progression. It's not necessarily a surprise the direction his character goes in. However, you kind of see where it's going the whole time. You're like, oh, okay, I know where this is headed. But it's it's so effective. And having you, we had you in the studio a couple years ago and got to know you then, and to see you on screen now, like, first of all, you haven't aged at all. You look the same, and you look great. Both of you guys fantastically. Like, I'm like, wow, these guys clean up really nice for the screen.
Age in reverse for some reason.
But you did, Zack. You did a wonderful job, and just to keep blowing smoke, it's not
blowing smoke. It's
true.
It's a lot.
I am that good. Yeah,
a lot of work went into this. And everybody fought for every moment of it. Like, it wasn't just a walk in the park where you go, whatever, it doesn't matter. Like, it mattered to all of us. And I know when it comes out, people just sort of digest it like a cookie and they go, okay, that's what it is. But for us in the process of making this, it mattered so much because we've been living with this film for 40 years that you're not blowing smoke. I appreciate the compliments. I take it very seriously. I'm very grateful that people see the character that way. It was not done alone. It was the rest of the actors. It was Peter. It was the director. It was the writers. It was myself. It was a combination of everybody working together and really creatively making the micro decisions in their department. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that the big machine would have strong cogs, and each one of those cogs would support each other, and then they would create more together. And I'm really proud of the film. And I say that, like, I don't have a huge role in the film. I think the role that I have is really good, and it's impactful, and I think it's great for the character of Scott Farkas and for me as an actor. Sure, but ego aside, I think the film is a really good film, and I also think it's one of those movies. If you're an 8-year-old kid, you're gonna laugh. You're gonna enjoy the film. If you're a 20-year-old kid, you'll laugh. You like the film. If you're over 30, this is your life.
Yeah.
Because this has either happened in your life or is going to happen in your life.
Yeah.
And this film for audiences will build a legend of their life experience. And that's the thing that's so beautiful about the film, is that the characters have aged with the audience. The audience's lives have progressed, and they've gone through the different stages of their lives, and the film reflects that and makes it relevant. And I think it does it in such a beautiful way. And the fact that it all came together, I'm so grateful that it happened this way, and so happy to be part of it. It's awesome.
Well, it's a really beautiful love letter to Darren McGavin, you know.
Yeah.
And there were quite a few times when I got choked up, specifically at the end.
And Darren McGavin plays Dad from the original, for anybody who's
The old man.
Yes, the old man.
Yeah, and it's, you know, if anybody's ever lost a parent or someone close to them in that way, it's very relatable. The fact that it takes place in 73 and not now, it doesn't feel, it feels like a period piece on one hand, but like you're right, Zach, it's relatable on the other, because there's so many things that are going on that we all can connect with, you know, getting older, being in our 40s, getting bullied as a kid, or continue to be bullied, and how you deal with that. Parental struggles with parents that may drive you up the wall at times. You know, it's all relatable stuff. And I'm just curious, like, Scott, can you kind of take us into the process of how it took this long to get made, or what was finally the catalyst that got it made?
I mean, Peter had been working on the storyline for 4 years. And I think, as much as I think that he wanted to get it done, and maybe somebody at Warner Brothers wanted to get done, it just wasn't getting done. And then once Cobra Kai just went to a different level, you know, the nostalgia thing has kicked in a monster way. And even with that, it took a while for them to really go, all right, I guess we'll use the original guys, or we're going to ask them, or whatever. And they didn't know where we were. Peter knew where I was, and Zack, you know. We still had to audition for our roles. It wasn't like they said, "Oh, you're Flick, come on in, you got the..." No.
Wow.
We had to audition because they didn't trust us. They didn't know, you know, what do we look like? What do we sound like? Can we still bring it?
You had to audition for your role.
Yeah, you didn't.
No.
No, Zack's automatic.
Come on, dude. I mean, seriously, this is what I do for 43 years. It's like,
oh, come on. You've done how many? What, 40 movies?
120, dick.
120. You know, I mean, he had, counting? You know, he had his recurring role on Titus, you know.
Yeah, but you're right. But Zack, you wear A Christmas Story on your sleeve. I mean, the fact that you don't have it tattooed on your arm is surprising, because
I have this face, bro. Like, everywhere I go, I'm
yellow eyes everywhere you go.
But you have such a fondness. I mean, the last time you were on the show, you spoke with it with such love, and I think, you know, to see where it's culminated to now is a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah, it's amazing, and it gets to do some good. So last year I did this. So in 2020, my dad got diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and I was taking care of him. And then last year, 2021, I did a fundraiser at the Christmas Story House in Cleveland, Ohio, for the Alzheimer's Association, and we're doing it again this year. So yeah, you know, I've before that I was doing stuff with bully prevention, and if this is how people know you, like I never begrudged it. I think when I was in my late teens and early 20s, and people would be like, "Yeah, you Scott Farkas." I'm like, "I've done other things too."
Right.
You know, I've done Transformers, and that movie did over $1 billion in the box office worldwide. You know, they don't run a 24-hour marathon of Transformers, and nobody walks up to me and goes, "Oh my God, I watch Transformers every year. It means so much to me." When Scorponok stabs you in the back and murders you in Qatar, like me and my family love it so much. Like, no, that's not what connects. So you do at a certain point realize that when you get to be part of something that's lightning in a bottle, be grateful, man, because it's not like I wrote, directed, produced, and acted in that film. I was a 13-year-old kid who got lucky, and I was in it and did a good enough job that Bob Clark selected me and then elevated my performance. And so, you know, be grateful for what you have and accept that. Does not mean that I sit on my laurels. Does not mean that I walk up to people and go, "Hi, I'm Scott Farkas. I mean, Zach Ward." Oh, you may know. No, I'm not that guy. That's not interesting to me. And I'm always pushing myself to see what I can do next, because that's what's exciting. But goddamn, I'm grateful. It's awesome.
Absolutely. You mentioned the fundraiser in Cleveland. When is that this year?
That's going to be December 17th. And so this is very cool. Warner Brothers and HBO have agreed to give me a screening of A Christmas Story Christmas on December 18th at 11 a.m. at the, I got to look it up, in the theater in Akron. I can't remember the name now. It'll be posted.
You tell us. Yeah.
But we're going to do a screening of A Christmas Story Christmas to raise money for Alzheimer's. So I'm not sure if the tickets will be $5 or $10, something pretty small, and there'll be a raffle, but the money will go to raise money for Alzheimer's. And that's Warner Brothers and HBO letting me use the film for free.
That's great.
So that's really cool of them.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And you guys know the house is up for sale now, the original house.
Yeah.
So that's interesting as well.
It's 15 million.
15 million.
So that's it.
Yeah, so
let's pool our money together now. And
there's nobody that's jumping forward yet to go, "Oh, I got it," you know. But
I mean, it's a slow process, and the reality is, it's not just a house. You got to understand, there's the house here. There's another house beside it, which is
the Bumpus house.
There's
the Bumpus house.
Yeah.
The campus
across the street is a museum. And next to that is a gift store. And then also they do like 70% of their revenue online. So it is a huge money-making machine, and tens of thousands of people, over 100,000 people go through it a year.
Wow.
If you're flying into Cleveland and you got one of those on-flight magazines, it is the #1 tourist spot, beating out the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Wow.
And the Cleveland Cavaliers games. So yeah, it's a big deal. Like it's something that Brian Jones, you know, built up over, 15, 20 years of hard work.
Yep.
And busted ass to make something happen. It's the epitome of the American dream. So whoever's going to buy that house is going to be buying into a very successful, beloved business that is going to continue having an audience for at least the next 20 years, with a fantastic infrastructure and incredible fan base. So whatever price it goes for, it'll be worth more than that. And whoever buys it, I'm happy to help them out, as I'm sure the rest of the cast. So yeah, that's happening, but it makes, I understand, when you work on something for that long and you want to have an exit strategy, good. That's what you're supposed to do.
Totally.
Yeah. When you guys sell your podcast to Spotify for $2 billion, I won't be making fun of you. You know, I'll be happy for you.
No, you
Appreciate
guys will
that.
both be on. Scott will be joining us. We'll be doing a wrestling podcast with Scott.
Yeah.
Primarily wrestling and a little bit of
Spin-off.
pop culture sprinkled in there. But and Zach will just talk about Transformers all the time.
Oh yeah,
Postal.
great.
I want to know, Scott. So in the trailer, Flick is a bartender, and by the way, the storefront of the it looks fantastic. This was all shot in Bulgaria.
Yeah,
Is what you said. So Scott, did you have any input into, like, once you got the role, where your character was going to go, or was it pretty much it was on paper?
No, I mean, pretty much written. I mean, there was a few things that had to be discussed and worked on and fought for and all those things, but for the most part, what they did originally is there. A few things I had to add, but that was fine.
What's it like shooting in Bulgaria, of all places?
boring.
Not much different than any place else. Yeah, kind of boring where we were.
We were basically quarantined for 2 months.
Oh, of course.
I think you guys have seen the film. You know that Scotty and RD have a lot of scenes that they do a bunch of stuff.
It's so good. Yeah,
It really is. Hey, they're so good. I love watching Scotty in the movie. He kills me. Triple dog dare you. So good. And but like there was nothing to do. And ironically, he may have been the bartender, but Scotty's not a big drinker. I don't drink at all. I'm happily married. There were COVID restrictions. So what are you gonna go do?
right.
We had breakfast together, lunch together. Then we go to a mall, the movies here and there. Saw a couple of absolutely horrific films, whatever. Listen, you guys have to understand something, okay? We don't have it because they wouldn't let me do it. Zack and RD sitting at dinner, sitting in the cars. They had me rolling because they were coming up with some of the most hilarious shit you've ever heard. The two of them. And I'm like, somebody give me your phone camera. I have to shoot this. We'll get 50 hours of footage. And I was just going to call it buddies. And it's basically just two guys either in the car or at a dinner. And it's just them bantering back and forth. And I almost peed myself several times with them because they were so funny. Wouldn't let me do it.
It was like I've known Scotty better. And over this process, RD and I got to be very good friends. But in the beginning, I just wanted to murder him. And that's where comedy lives, right? Making a friend, you're like, what? What's wrong with you? What are you, an idiot? What are you talking about? What? Pull your head out of your ass, man. So that would be our back and forth constantly. And it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
We're all in the car one night, and this. Oh God! And it's dark, and all of a sudden Zack sees what looks like ski slopes in the mountains, and it's all lit up. And Zack goes, "Oh, that's pretty cool. The lights, up there, the night skiers." And RD goes, "Who's skiing?" Zack's like, I don't know skiing, but they got lights up. Well, why are they skiing? Zack's like, I don't know. What the hell are you asking me these questions for?
Oh no.
Give it. But now they're skiing at night.
What people?
This went back and forth.
Oh my God.
It was like who's on first, third base. It was ridiculous. Yeah.
But why? Why are they skiing?
Why are they skiing?
Nighttime.
Who's skiing? How many people are skiing? And Zack is going bananas.
Yeah.
Zack is the Costello to RD's Abbott.
Yeah.
It was just great stuff.
Actually, Zack, if you grew a pencil mustache and you slicked your hair back and darkened it, you could totally pull off a Costello.
Oh, I could, man. Yeah, that's a good call.
You should do that.
I will do that.
Get RD Rob, in there, and RD Rob, by the way, for everyone wondering, he plays Schwarz, and he and Scotty are gold. It's Flick and Schwarz feels so authentic, the performances you guys give in that movie. It doesn't feel like all this time has passed and we're having to get to know these characters. Yeah. You already know them and their banter. I'm so glad they didn't cast somebody else in your role, Scott. It would have been.
They tried, eh? They tried.
Rich Moranis?
Yeah, they tried to. They tried to cast names in the roles, and it didn't
work.
And I mean, to think about it, dude. Like, somebody watches the.
Ryan Reynolds as Flick,
Right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that would be hilarious, but it's more like, imagine getting that audition as Flick or Schwartz, and then you watch the first one and they're children, and you now have to extrapolate that to modern times. That had to suck for those actors. And then they realized it just came off as really,
it's a gimmick at that point. I mean,
it came off as gaggy and heartless. And that's when they,
oh,
what? VID Rob, yeah. No,
He's
yeah,
here.
hashtag
He's here.
VRD Rob.
yeah. That's leave it alone, Scotty.
That's an inside between me and Zach. Oh yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, they tried and it failed. And I'm so, it works because all the original guys are there. And we all knew that because we deal with the fans all the time, and we love them, and we know that that's the interaction that they adore. And if they got, like, I don't know if you guys ever saw this, like there was the musical, A Christmas Story musical.
Familiar, but never saw it.
The musical on Broadway, beautiful, fantastic. Then they did a live TV version on Fox.
Oh yeah.
Oh, right.
Horrible, dude. It opened up with like a Katy Perry song ripoff,
That's
and
right.
it was so cheesy. And the kid who played me, God bless his little soul, was so pretty. He looked like a Abercrombie and Fitch model. I was like, that looks like Tiny Thor. Like, what is that? That's not me. I was a hideous dork at the age of 13. I had a big honking schnoz and braces, and like, this kid is gorgeous. Everybody was too right out of central casting and just, too pretty. And we're not pretty. We're very real, and I think that's the other part of it that makes it so enjoyable.
Yeah, it doesn't work if Zac Efron is playing Scott in any.
By
the way,
Jane Krakowski playing Miss Shields.
No.
Now,
no offense.
Listen, I've known Jane since she's a teenager, okay? And of course, seeing the character of Miss Shields in such a hot, sexy way, okay, which was certainly not Miss Shields.
No.
So the scene is on, and I had to call Teddy. So I called up to Toronto to Teddy Moore, who played Miss Shields in the movie. And I'm like, are you enjoying this? And she's like, well, yeah, but, I didn't really look like that. I said, Teddy, honey, I said, you never looked that hot your whole life, baby. This is great stuff, And I had her laughing on the phone because, to have Jane Krakowski playing Miss Shields.
Yeah.
It was just horrible. It's when they try to polish it up and make it commercialized for everybody. And that's the other thing I love about the Christmas Story Christmas is it's not woke and it's not right-wing Republican.
Yeah.
It's not either extreme. It's
life. It's just real life.
And it's like, nowadays in movies, men are either jacked, muscly superheroes, fast-talking pretty boys, or buffoons.
Well,
none of those. Like, he has a great relationship with his wife and his kids. They all talk to each other with respect and love. He's a man who's making his shoulders wider to carry the burden of the pain that he's going through for his family. That's what a man does. That's what a woman does who loves her family. That's what a man does who loves their family. That's this heroic journey that we go on that never gets applause, that never gets a parade. No one gives a crap. And that's the reality of life.
Yeah.
And they capture that part of it. He never complains. He never sits there and whines about how it's not fair that he doesn't get this, that, or the other thing. Nope. He takes care of his family. He takes care of the people he loves the best way he can. And sometimes he screws it up and he's sorry and he does his best. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Real.
Yeah.
Real type of thing. You don't get to see that.
No, so not to spoil anything, there are the classic fantasy scenes in the film, which are gold, by the way.
Yeah.
But the root story, you're right, Zach. The root story it's a very simple one. It's a very small one, but it's again, a very relatable one that you're talking about seeing beautiful people on screen with flawless, not a wrinkle in sight, not a pimple to be popped. You know, I don't have a problem with those actors at all. However, there's something about watching movies from the 80s. One of the many reasons we love it is because everybody looks normal, quote unquote, you know, and that's the beautiful thing. Like you guys, you aged. I told you, you look good. You look great for your age, quote unquote, whatever that means, whatever that expression is. It's my fancy way of saying you look good.
54, 55. Yeah.
But that's what you look like when you get older.
55 yet. Don't be in a rush. Slow it down.
Sorry, Chief.
That's real though, you know, and that's important too. When you see a movie and go, hey, that guy looks like me. He's got wrinkles. You know, Peter Billingsley looks like Peter Billingsley now. You know, his face isn't stretched back. He's not like trying too hard or whatever.
Yeah.
But there's that little Ralphie. You see the little Ralphie still in there. You see the little Flick still in there.
The eyes.
The Ralphie eyes.
The eyes of Ralphie.
Yes.
And that's a beautiful thing.
Yes, I totally agree.
It is. Can you guys comment? Were those Peter Billingsley? Were those his real sideburns?
Yeah.
No. Yes. Oh, we have two different conflicting.
I thought they were. I thought they were.
I think so.
Oh, then they were makeup. Mine were fake too. I don't grow very good facial hair at all. I don't know. Scotty killed. But that was RD's real pompadour. His hair was killing me. It was
so
that
good.
hair was phenomenal. I was like, wow, what does it look like when there's no shoe polishing or like shellac or whatever the hell he put in that thing?
It was awesome.
So really quick, Julie Haggerty plays the mom in this, and who, by the way, if you guys haven't seen Julie Haggerty in years, like I hadn't seen her in a while, like she hasn't missed a beat from her comedic timing from like Airplane days.
Airplane, what a pop-up. She's wonderful.
She's so and naturally funny. Like you meet her in person and you're cracking up.
Yeah.
She was the mom in Just Friends, Zach, if you had been catching up.
So,
if you haven't
sorry.
In Just Friends with Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah.
No, I don't watch Ryan Reynolds movies. I don't watch his movies.
Just Friends. Okay, so who's the guy who plays his younger brother in Just Friends? Because I was at an autograph convention recently and he was there, and that guy is freaking hilarious. That's one of my favorite parts in that movie. You got to see it, dude. Is the relationship between Ryan Reynolds and his younger brother.
Yes.
Okay, I got to watch it.
Oh, you do. I laughed just thinking about it. It's so funny.
Very underrated comedy.
Yeah.
But I can't remember who the younger brother is. Yes.
Chris Marquette. That's Chris Marquette. Yeah, I gotta give him props. The guy is hilarious in that film, bro. I cry. He makes me laugh so hard. He's a talented, wonderful, very sweet guy. So if you ever have him on, please let him know I love him much.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. So Scott, you said it took you 3 weeks to grow that mustache out, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So any pointers? Because Dustin's been wanting me to grow a mustache out for the 3 years we've been doing this podcast.
Yeah, become a little short, fat Jew, and you can grow it super fast.
No, Zach, you don't need pointers. You just give up on it.
Yeah.
You just pull the ripcord.
I do. It's hard.
If you can't, you won't.
If you can't, you won't.
Okay.
That's the slogan for everything.
Fair. So Scott, Zach just threw you under the bus. Now it's your chance. Now it's your chance to throw him under.
No, I never throw him under the bus.
Kidding. You guys, you guys have known each other since the movie A Christmas Story, but and Zach, you were saying that you and Scott have a tight relationship. Have you guys? Do you continue to hang out through the 80s and the 90s and the 2000s?
The 80s, I think late 80s.
Late 80s.
We met up again. Yeah, we met up again. I think you had Kidco coming out.
Kidco! Dickie!
Wow. You and I and my mom and your uncle went to a movie theater in Toronto, Scotty.
Yeah.
And there was, And then in 94, something like that, Scotty called me. I was doing a TV show called Boogie's Diner. I get called by production. I had to come to the production office, and there's a phone call for me. I'm like, hello. I was like, hey, buddy, it's Zack. It's Scotty. How are you? What's going on? And he had seen my picture in a newspaper or something about the TV series. and he just got it because Scotty will do this. Just reach out, get the information, call me, and then I moved to LA in '95. And then shortly, not too long after that, I got in touch with him, and then we would start to hang out every once in a while, and our lives would go, back and forth as we had different experiences, and this, that, and the other thing happened. But we've known each other now for 40 years.
Almost 40 years.
Yeah.
This is my photo on Zach's phone.
Wow.
I don't know why you tell people this. You're just making it hard.
Because you said the short, fat, whatever, and you love to do
that. Was
that.
funny.
So
You couldn't let it go. It was about the mustache. Come on.
So
I think that's hysterical.
And
That was
people should also know this. If you look at the movie, Scotty put on about 20 pounds for the role, and now has taken off about 20 pounds. Like, nobody asked him to do
Over
that.
20.
We had
Right.
talked about it in the
Over
beginning.
20.
amazing.
When he got the role, and we were discussing going out for it, and going out to shoot it, and we were talking about the type of characters and how to look for it, and back and forth. And he wanted to put on the size, and I wanted to put on size as well, but not chub, because as the character I'm playing, not to give any spoilers away, the musculature would come across in the face and the neck and so forth.
Yeah.
So I was lifting every day while I was out in Bulgaria, and he was eating. So they were both
Got the better deal.
They were both commitment. And he has taken the 20 pounds off. And within the year, within like 5 months after he got back, it's pretty legendary. So
That's
Yeah,
fantastic.
I stopped eating the pasta every day, having the pasta and the sugars and the candies and the cakes and the sodas. And I've dropped 25 and, still going and feel good. And, but listen, as much as Zach compliments me, I compliment him. We are, a band of brothers, and we support each other. We love each other. We care about each other. We give a shit, as they say, and I always appreciate when he gives me the compliments, and, he knows that. And I think he's wonderful in this as well. There's nobody that could do it like him.
And for those that couldn't see the photo, that looked like a well-endowed mini horse.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that is Zach's favorite photo of me. Absolutely.
that's his avatar on my phone. Well, because the doctor told me he was as healthy as a horse.
No, I said that.
No, you told me that the doctor, because I was making fun of you for putting on the fat, because we're boys. Look, this is what boys do with each other privately. Scotty is the one who then airs this publicly, and now I have to explain this.
Wow.
He's throwing me under a bus. He's throwing me under the bus.
I gave him the opportunity.
Guy shit, okay? So then he tells me, I'm like, you put on the weight. I don't want you to be unhealthy. He's like, oh, no. Doctor said I was as healthy as a horse. I'm like, well, there are a lot of horses. Let me see. I think you're as healthy as this horse.
Yep.
Look, Scott, I gave you the opportunity. I wanted you to. Yeah.
I listen, I take pride in the fact that he found such a wonderful photo of my stunt double. It's great,
Well, what you just said, what both of you just said resonates, though, because when you guys have known each other as bros for so long, and that love is so genuine, it is all about that. It's all about the goofing on each other. It's all about the ribbing on each other. Throw out the political whatever, who cares? It's all about that love. It feels so palpable. I mean, the energy, I know we're Zoom screens away, but you can feel the energy with you guys. It's on fire.
Listen, we go back and forth, not in any negative manner whatsoever, but we banter.
Yeah.
And we love each other. And it's like we're brothers from another mother. And we can do this. We've been doing it for decades now. And it don't matter if I see Zach once a month, once every 2 months, we'll talk, whatever. As soon as we sit down, we pick off where we left off. It don't matter.
Yeah.
Mi casa, su casa. And, if he needs me, I'm there. And if I need him, he's there.
Yeah, that was probably the most enjoyable part of the whole process, was being stuck in a hotel with 3 of my brothers and hanging out with them. And also it was great because we were all in different rooms, all hotel rooms. And then at a certain point when you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. Good night. And then you just leave. You don't have to get in a car and drive away and make a deal out of it. You're like, hey buddy, how's it going? No, tuck.
Good night.
Yeah. Good night. See you tomorrow. Breakfast 9 o'clock. That was it.
That is fantastic. Okay, so quick reminder. Yeah, this is a fundraiser for Big Brothers and Big Sisters of coastal and northern Jersey. So again, thanks to everybody who has donated this far. And if you'd like to donate, the link is down below. And we appreciate that. And we appreciate you guys coming on with us today.
Pleasure.
Yes. Christmas Story Christmas. You can watch it right now. HBO Max. Everybody do
And
that.
coming December 3rd, I think it goes to all the other streaming platforms and pay-per-views and all that stuff.
Go watch it, guys. Go watch it. Thank you guys so much.